Who?
Oh, cool. All right, so I'll get started on that stuff.
Yeah. So, Walt,
What?
how are you, good sir?
I'm doing just fine, Macho. How are you?
I'm good. I asked this because a couple days ago, you turned a crisp and fine 25 years old, good sir. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a quarter. I've been alive for a quarter.
You've been
And
alive for a quarter. Yeah, that's how much you're worth, too, by the way. So, happy birthday, Walt.
Yeah.
it's listen, when you said that 25 years old, I heard like so like hesitant like, "Oh, wow." And as soon as you said that's how much you're worth, he immediately said, "Yes. Yes.
I
Yes."
said, damn.
Oh, you said damn?
Yeah.
He's like,
Damn.
absolutely.
I, Listen, it's 25,000, okay? Or 25 million. You know, it's
In pesos? That's not racist.
man.
That's not racist, by the way. I'm Puerto Rican.
No, you're Puerto Rican too? If anything, you're being a colorist.
I'm being a colorist, yes, sir.
Nah,
Absolutely.
man. You're right, 25, man. 25 years on this earth. On this earth. God damn, boy. I
How's
told
it?
that.
How's it
I
feel? I
told
mean,
that to
you
the
spent the day doing what? What'd you do for your birthday?
that day. I mean, I I was taking care of the house, so that day was just a cleaning day. But aside from that, I went ahead and started a couple new games because
Yes, sir.
someone provided some codes for some games,
Yes,
and
sir. Who's that?
someone from the sticks, from like Oklahoma or some shit.
Some
Uh,
from the sticks, he said.
some dude called Macho.
Who?
Yeah,
Who?
yeah. I felt like I was being converted because he was like Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy. I'm like, man, chill, bro.
To be clear, well, yeah. So I actually gifted some my guy some codes for his birthday, and
Oh, shit.
we were on the phone just talking, because I think that was the day I got my Steam Deck too, right, Paul?
It is the day before, I think.
Right. So I was probably just configuring it, but he was like, Macho, what? I want to get into Final Fantasy, and what game should I play? I'm like, well, you asked the right guy. So and then, as we're talking about it, I sent him codes for 9 and 7, and
Nice.
and he was like, "What?
And
What the?"
and I was like, wait a minute, what are these emails I got? The
Yeah,
you know
and
why
then
you're charity? Okay.
yeah, and then Sammy came in the room right like soon after Walt, and he was like, she's like, "Wait, it's Walt's birthday. I want to get him something." And I was like, "Yeah, you could look at his wish list and see what you want to get him." And so she picked out Yuki's Like a Dragon for him because she got really excited when she saw the game on his wish list.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
And
Wait, I thought you played that.
I did. I'm gonna replay it on the Steam Deck though.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
he liked it so much he got the platinum, so he said he wanted to do it again on Steam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I also he also got me the Outer Wilds. So, and
Damn.
never played that game. I mean, honestly, I started the other day, and then that's a unique game. There's no that's a unique game because there's no saving. It's one
Oh man,
it's per walkthrough.
that's not a good impression already.
No,
It's
no,
it's a
it's not a
unique
returnal
game.
situation. So it's like what is it like rogue? What's the category like roguelike type deal?
Yeah,
Where it's only one run, and each run you can do something different. I haven't gone through deep into it, but so far what I'm seeing, I'm intrigued. I like what they're doing so far. I also re-downloaded Witcher 3 on my Steam Deck because why not? What's this
that's
Witcher
not a
3?
bad game for Steam Deck actually.
Absolutely, man.
Just keep your native or like your actual refresh rate at 40. You'll be fine.
What's the main character his name in Cyberpunk Edgerunners?
David.
David Martinez.
Okay.
My boy is Dominicano, brother.
Oh, that's his nationality.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And who's like the main female character's name?
Lucy.
just Lucy?
She has a full name. I can look it up for you.
Okay. Like
Uh,
who's like who are would you say those are the two main like most popular characters?
Yeah, 100%. If you go to the actual fan base, I'd say uh, top three are David, Lucy, and Rebecca. Those three are always like the whenever people are like, "Oh, are you Lucy or Rebecca?" Even the Twitter page, they were like, "Are you Team Lucy or Team Rebecca?" So go back and forth between that. Uh, Lucy Cyberpunk
Lucy,
full
100%.
name. Because they do reveal it in just one scene.
Yeah, I
Lucina
definitely missed it.
Lucina Kushinada.
I
Okay.
definitely missed
She,
that.
she is half Polish and half Japanese. This is by Rafał Jaki, which is the creator of.
That I do remember. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. I heard them saying that.
So Lucina Kushinada. I remember the Polish part. Because I
All
mean,
right.
pretty much like there's like 50% people on in Night City are like either Japanese or half Japanese because of Arasaka and all that. Um, Pretty cool.
All
Man,
right.
all these tunes.
Oh my god.
Oh my good. I have to try to talk to like that. Like it doesn't come naturally. And that's so trust me guys. I don't talk like that on a regular.
Uh-huh. I'm sure you're saying it to your dog like 5,000 times this week. Hi,
Oh, that's a
Choom.
good idea. Hi, Choom.
That's actually not a bad name for a dog.
Choom?
Choom. Yeah. It's better
Oh
than
yeah.
Gonk.
It,
Hey,
yeah,
Press
because
Alpha. How
Gonk
you
is not
doing, man?
supposed to be
Welcome
endearing.
back to the pod. Dang it, nice to see you back in.
All
Because
right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
no, yeah, sure.
You're definitely ready. We are ready, so.
Welcome everyone to the 77th episode of the DualShock and Sense podcast. I'm your host, Soul, the connoisseur anime waifus, joined as always by my two co-hosts. We have Macho here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy fanatic, and I have a new special title for both you and Walt, my
Oh
good man.
boy.
And the leave me on read in Discord, motherfucker. That's what y'all are right now. Y'all never answer whenever I ask about topics. Whenever I'm bringing up anything, articles, whatever, y'all just leave me on read. What's going on? I'm putting you on the spot right now.
I never use Discord. Unless you directly tag me, I'm not gonna answer.
That's funny because I directly added you yesterday.
You added me in what? Oh, added at like at?
Yeah, at.
Oh, okay. Then then I don't know what to say about that one.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to get the topics for the podcast. Y'all just leave me on read, man. But it is what
Cause
it is.
like, is my thing is that like my notifications for Discord are off on my phone, and like my laptop, I only use it like I don't have Discord on my laptop, so like
Hmm.
I only use my laptop for school and writing. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense. At least you provide a really good reason. Walt.
I just forget. I just look at the message and I'm like, I'm gonna answer in the next 5 minutes, and I never answer, and I forget.
That's hilarious because you do that a
That's
lot.
me everywhere though. That's
Yeah.
me on Messenger. That's me on WhatsApp. That's me on Instagram. It's like, hey, okay, so this person messaged me. I'll message them in a bit.
It's
A
very
week goes
true.
by, and I don't answer.
It's very true. I firsthand experience. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Other than that, I'm doing good. It was a good week. Quite busy. We're leading up to the honeymoon weekend. A little nervous because we're wondering how Harley's gonna do with our people that are gonna actually babysit him or dog sit him. But he's been doing good, man. Harley's actually been doing really well with potty training for the most part, except yesterday, right when I started a Final Fantasy stream, he looks at me, goes in the corner, and pees right on the fucking ground. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? So I immediately had to stop
Bro.
what I was doing in the stream and just tend to him and see what the hell is going on. But yeah, other than that, having those puppies one of the worst and best experiences of my life. Um, But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty mellow. Just waiting to go on vacation, man. So
Cool.
yeah.
Walt, how you doing, man?
I'm doing a splendito. Turned 25, and everything just feels the same. I'm just a little bit older. Um, been playing a lot of games. Been watching some shows, some anime. Been a good week. Getting ready for, I don't know about you, so, but getting ready for next week, where apparently there's a chance of hurricane. Um,
Oh yes.
so been just getting ready for that. Yeah, man. I haven't really got much going on. Just that I ate a lot of sushi. I went to this place called Crumble. Never been to it. They make these very large cookies that are more cake than cookies. They're crumbly cookies. And I got the strawberry milk one, and I felt like my mind was in the clouds while my body was on the floor, and oh my god, it tastes so good, y'all. God damn, like I had an awakening in that moment, you know. It was magical. It wasn't aphrodisiac. It was just magical.
Mm. I was about to say the way that you were talking about it was sounding a little bit like you took an aphrodisiac or something.
Listen, man, I don't know what happened last night.
Jesus.
All right, no more strawberry crumble cookie cake for you, Walt.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man,
Because
sometimes
you're acting a little bit different, man. I'm not gonna lie.
sometimes you eat the right sweets, and listen, it'll hit different. I guess I'm just like David. I'm built different, you know.
I don't know about that one, but
No,
But yeah,
no.
man, we got a great show planned for you guys. A lot of stuff to talk about. Before we jump into that, we're gonna get started and talk about the games that we've been playing this past week. Um, so for me, this one's pretty short. I finished off Titanfall 2 over the week. I
cool.
really loved it. Just a fun campaign that surprisingly, I'm not gonna say this was like, like I don't know, like Oscar worthy writing or anything like that, but like towards the end, like the heart of the story is the relationship between your character and your Titan. And that stuff worked surprisingly well for me by the end. So yeah, it was a campaign that had more than meets the eye, I think. So yeah, really enjoyed Titanfall 2. I've been getting into Prey a lot more. Finally, man, just for whatever reason, the multiple attempts that I've tried to get into this, it just like never clicked, or I was playing multiple things at the same time, so like those other games just pulled me away. But no, I finally sat down with Prey and actually like gave it the time that I think it deserves, and yeah, it's definitely got its hooks into me. It's scary as hell. You guys know I don't do well with scary games, but we're we're
I
we're,
don't know
we're
about
making it
scary. I know it's tense. I know it's very tense because you don't know what's around each corner.
right. I mean, I just don't like that the fucking enemies can turn into like little
Can mimic.
furniture and things like that, and you don't know, and you can't tell like which ones are which or whatever, which is cool. Which is cool, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely tense. I think that's the right word. But yeah,
that is
really
pretty tense.
enjoying Prey. But guys, the game that took over my week, I actually probably like the past 2 days, to be honest, that I was not expecting to take over my gaming life, has been Destiny 2.
Wait, wait,
What?
wait, wait. What?
Yeah,
I have never in my life expected to hear those two words out of your freaking mouth.
we'll see how far it goes. Um, because there definitely could be a drop off. Because I'm definitely like in the honeymoon phase where everything is just new and exciting.
Yeah,
Right, and
but Destiny
but
2, that's crazy.
so something that you probably don't know about me is that I actually played Destiny 1 a lot.
You
Um,
what?
yeah.
This man full of surprises. Played
I'm
Destiny 1, didn't play Last of Us. What's going on?
I'm just
Damn.
I'm totally
Jesus Christ.
I'm totally just like throwing like a dart at the board, but I think with Destiny 1 I probably put in like somewhere around 90 hours. That's a guess, but
Oh, okay. You're
um
a baby with that. Okay, gotcha.
I mean 90 hours is no, it's nothing to
It,
scoff
it,
at, you know.
so
Um
I put in around.
well, I didn't ask you, but
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll look for it. I'll look for it. I'll look for it.
as you're
Continue.
doing that. But yeah, so I actually did play Destiny a lot with friends. Um
Yes, sir.
and then but yeah, I don't know why, you know, I don't know what prompted this decision to play Destiny 2, but yeah, I
That's
started
crazy.
playing it and I'm actually kind of hooked. The
You're on
gunplay
your
is
FPS kick right now.
yeah, I guess that's what it is. But yeah, man, the gunplay is so good and fun.
Yeah, it's godlike.
Um yeah, it's really damn good. Um And yeah, I don't know. I'm just finding the sort of dopamine rush of constantly getting like new loot and new gear and decking up
Yep.
my character in, cool shit to be really like intoxicating. So, yeah, it's a cool game. I found a game mode in the Crucible multiplayer stuff last night that I just absolutely love. It's called Elimination, I think.
Yes, sir.
Um, it's basically like a 3v3 multiplayer game mode where um it's literally like yeah, so it's 3v3 and you basically like you everyone all six players only have one life. So yeah, it's just whoever can knock out the other three first wins. And it's really tense. And it's the whole thing is like whoever gets to whoever wins 5 rounds just wins the overall thing,
Hmm.
and it's really tense. Like it could be like I've had multiple games where it's like my team wins one, that the other team wins one, and it's like at the end it's like 4-4, and it's like oh it's so tense because it's like whoever wins this final round wins the entire thing. I literally had one last night where my team went 4-0 against this other team. And then the other team wins 5 in a row, and they beat us, which was
Damn.
really embarrassing. Yeah,
I feel
but
that.
yeah, it was yeah, it's fun. I'm addicted to that game mode now. But yeah, man, Destiny 2 is awesome. I'm having a great time. I even bought the Witch Queen expansion.
You did that. Not even I have done that. What?
Jesus Christ.
That's
Yeah,
This man went off the
insane.
deep end.
yeah, man.
Right now,
Wow.
Cognito will
I'm
be kind of jumping in his
man.
seat right now if you.
Yo, Cognito, he perked up right now. No, listen,
I'm not proud of it, but yeah.
He said,
listen,
I'm
man.
not proud of it, he said.
Macho, check the Discord.
Yeah, no, you just
Listen,
sniped on this man. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you?
how many hours have I played on Destiny?
It's 1400.
So with D1, I got
Yeah,
unhealthily
go touch
obsessed.
some grass.
Oh. No, the
Meanwhile,
thing with
Soul
that
has
game.
84, which is a reasonable amount for a normal person.
Oh, okay, I
No,
wasn't that
listen,
far off.
listen. For Destiny, I think Destiny is like one of those games where people talk about Halo, their memories, and Destiny 1, Destiny 2. That's where my best gaming memories are, and it's not because of the game; it's because of the people that I've met. Uh, I hear you talk about D2 and about Witch Queen. That's the only expansion I haven't purchased, and I think probably Shadow Keepers. I want to get back to it. I've been putting it off because I have other games that I do need to play single player wise. Uh, but listen, man, uh, you're making me you're making me rub my hands over here and kind of wanna
Whoa.
kind of
Whoa.
dive back in there and play some D2, man. That's Crucible is my shit. I love PvP so much in that game and
Yeah.
grinding. What my question is, what is your class and what is your main element that you're using?
Hunter
Okay.
and I guess fire. I don't know. There's still a ton of shit. Like I will admit that like this game like for new players this game is definitely
It's
overwhelming.
daunting. Yeah.
There's a bunch of shit that I just don't fully understand yet. I'll eventually get, but like you just
Mhm.
asking the elemental thing, I'm like I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, just the type of thing that you fight with. Okay, so Hunter, are you enjoying the Hunter?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yes, sir. That's Hunter for life. Yes, sir. Yeah. My boy got good taste. Yeah, if you say Warlock, I would have just left. Anyone tells me they're a Warlock main, nah, man. Yeah, you listener. If you play Warlock, why are you even playing Destiny? Stop playing Destiny.
Don't shame them. What's wrong with you? People can do what they want with their time.
Nah, I'm not. Good stuff, man. Man, I'm proud of you, Soul. Don't feel shame. I'm proud of you for playing Destiny 2. I'm happy
Thanks,
for you.
man.
I would have been even prouder if it was a critically acclaimed Final Fantasy 14, but
Insert sleeping soundbite.
listen, man, I got 40 crispy views on that Final Fantasy Friday yesterday. Right? It was 14, so
Or,
step up.
or that one moment in SpongeBob where Squidward's about to play his clarinet. He's like, and now,
Dude, don't recall my favorite moment. Don't do it.
he's like, and now for E minor. And Squidward or Patrick's like, E minor, E minor.
As soon as he hits the first note,
How y'all gonna hit me with my favorite moments in SpongeBob? I hate y'all.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me this week. Also, kind of tipping away at The Sandman as well on Netflix. And yeah, that's it for me. What about you guys?
Cool. Well, I'll go first, since I know we're gonna go into like a like a bigger conversation with Cyberpunk. But so this week I've actually, on top of going to 14 stuff like that, but I delved into a couple of the demos for games that I wanted to get on day one and play. Did not do it for Battlefield Chronicles. You know, I do want to play that game eventually. That it just came out, but I actually played the demo for Star Ocean, The Divine Force, and Valkyrie Elysium. And out of those two, I think Valkyrie.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask, how's Valkyrie Elysium?
It's actually way more fun than I was anticipating.
okay, good.
And it's really due to the actual combat mechanics. So the way Valkyrie Elysium works is, one, it's an action RPG. So you're going to be hacking and slashing and stuff like that. But what makes it really interactive, I guess, or more intuitive, like the controls as well, is that you can actually summon out different souls. And these are from like different people that have like their own different backgrounds and stuff like that. And in the game, or in the demo, you're available to only two. And one has like a thunder and range kind of element to him, and the other is like an ice element that she has. But you can summon these at will with the cost of like a bar as well, so you can like spam these different kind of souls you're putting into the battlefield. But they help you out in battle on top of you just hacking and slashing, and whichever one you send out last, you actually inherit that element from that character. So say I send out the person that has the lightning element, now my weapon is actually imbued with lightning as an attack effect or whatever. So combining all this stuff with the actual like really fast paced hack and slash is really fun. You traverse the environments pretty quickly as well. You don't even have like a run button. You just hold down the left analog stick and then you just keep holding onto it and your character eventually just start running. There's actually a pulling grappling mechanic as well. So kind of like just like the hook from Halo Infinite, I guess you could say, where you have different vantage points and then you can actually just hook onto it, and then it looks really cool and cinematic. It's pretty dope. And then with these actual souls that you summon out into the world as well, you can solve different puzzles. So one of the lady had the ice element, I think it was. There's like a gap that my character couldn't jump over, so I summoned her out, and then she was able to just have a bridge of ice appear, and I was able to get across. So combining all these elements like in the demo, just made me reassure like, oh yeah, this is actually really fun. There's some synergy here. I'm actually enjoying like the push and pull of the combat, and it doesn't feel limiting as well, and everything just looks super cool. So on top of all that, yeah, it's great. As soon as I finished playing it, I pre-ordered it at Best Buy to get that steelbook and everything. I was like, yeah, this is a game I want to play day one. So that was a great change of pace for like a demo. I'm loving like these actual demos that Square is actually putting out. So, but with the other ones, it was Star Ocean: The Divine Force, and this one was a little. It was definitely PS3. It feeling like a PS3 era JRPG, and Well, it more looks like a PS3 era JRPG, really. Um, the game is not visually pleasing as much as Valkyrie Elysium, in my opinion. Definitely not in the vein of like Final Fantasy VII Remake or anything like that. But Star Ocean Divide Force so far is actually pretty fun as like a gameplay standpoint. I didn't really realize what I was getting into with the combat, but apparently they usually have like this bar that limits your actions that you can take. So that's where like kind of the limitations of the combat comes in. But once you kind of get around that and you actually learn the flow of combat, it gets pretty fun. The biggest thing that really helps it though is that there's this mechanic. I forgot what the robot is called, but basically what this robot allows you to do in combat, and even outside of combat, is to levitate in the air and then dash towards a certain spot. So this is where kind of like exploring the world gets really fun, where you just start dashing and gliding everywhere. But in combat, you can actually dash towards enemies and catch them unaware, and you can actually start doing some combos and stuff like that. So there's some potential in this game for it being really fun. I checked out the latest like overview trailer, and there's a lot being added to it. So it looks like it's a game that's going to be worth the bang for your buck if you're not counting the visuals. It looks like just the content's going to be there, which is nice. I'm sure a lot of people are, wonder about that too. So, but other than that, play both those demos. Star Ocean is probably gonna be a wait for maybe Christmas or wait for a sale for me. But Valkyrie Elysium, I definitely want to play that day one. That's gonna be for me. So, but other than that, that's just kind of like what I've been playing.
Cool. Well, what about you?
Been heavy on some Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
What? Macho mentioned he finished Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and he ended up downloading it.
Yep, I ended up rebuying it, so
Yeah.
and
Yes, sir.
I was very, very tempted to start last night, but I was just dead tired after the stream, and I want to give it time, so I'm gonna see if I can play it tonight.
Yeah, man.
Gotcha.
I got through the main, like the intro basically, where finally you get the title card, Cyberpunk 2077. Waiting for my car to get fixed. Just met Keanu. Man, I gotta say that opening scene, everything that leads up to that grand, climax of the first act. It really is one of the greater intros in a Western RPG that I've seen. I think it really much showcases, the decision making, the impact, the different routes that you can take in one mission, like with the Maelstrom mission, where you can either get the gadget or not get the gadget, or pay with credits, not pay with credit. Like there's so many things there. I like the way that it teaches you how the game works. I'm enjoying the customization. I made a Lady V. I started with the Corpo intro. I've decided that she's gonna be a bit of a annoyance at times, because depending on the intro that you choose, you get certain dialogue options based on that skill, on that tree. And being a corpo makes you just horrible. It just makes you treat everyone like shit. So whenever you see that option, I'm like, well, time to be an asshole. Time to make this person feel awful. But I'm really enjoying it. I downloaded the updates that they had for the anime. I haven't played this game since release, so you can very much realize just how much I'm seeing that changed. A lot changed, and it's still the same story and whatnot. But I never had any problems with the story. The story I really loved from the beginning. It's just that the gameplay, when it launched, it was unplayable. So now I'm actually glad that it hasn't crashed. So I'm happy already. I'm having a blast with the game. I started Outer Wilds. I downloaded FF7, what was it, 9?
Mm-hmm.
Or 8? Yeah, not the one with Squall. It was 9, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I downloaded 9. I downloaded Yakuza Like a Dragon. I've been playing. I played some of the new season in Fortnite. They have Spider Gwen in there.
I did
It's
see
part of
that.
it's part of the battle pass. So your boy had to get in there, and it's not any Spider Gwen. It's Spider Verse Spider Gwen. So it's the actual Gwen Stacy. You know, the shaved side, short hair. So it's that Gwen Stacy.
Yeah,
Um,
Fortnite almost got me with that. They almost got me.
they almost there. Not yet. Not yet.
Not
They
yet.
gotta put Aerith or something in there.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
which I don't doubt it. At some point, you were gonna see some Final Fantasy character in there. For God's
Dude,
sake,
if I see
Goku's in there.
Cloud in there with a freaking assault rifle,
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
lose
shake
it?
my head, but I'm gonna download the game at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I've been playing that with some friends. I've been playing a little bit of Dead by Daylight. Still enjoy that. I have the one of the killers that I bought was the Onryo, which is the ring. So Samara is her name. Um, I love it. She's super creepy. I love terrorizing my friends with it. They always get scared, and I enjoy it very much. Um, I watched Barbarian this week, which is this new horror movie by Zach Gregor, starring Regina Campbell, and Bill Skarsgård was in it. Uh, and Justin Long. I didn't know Justin Long was in this movie, so it caught me off guard when I saw him. Like, whoa, what are you doing here? Last time, like, since Jeepers Creepers, which is the last horror movie I think he was in, or big horror movie that he was in. Really enjoyed it, y'all. I know, Soul, you're not a horror fanatic, so you're not gonna ever watch this movie. Um, but I can say that this is one of the better movies that I've seen in the horror genre as of recent memory. It really subverts expectations. The cast is incredible. The twists, oh my God! There's always three acts. Every act has a twist that is just, it's insane. The way that they world build and the characters interact with each other, and everyone just, you know how horror movies have this thing where they make the protagonist incredibly dumb by just resorting immediately to the dumbest decisions ever. Uh, that wasn't the case this time. The protagonist exhausted all options, and then they began becoming desperate. So it's a cool way that they, actually established these characters to not be dumb. They were not stupid. They were actually thinking about it. I actually watched a second movie because my friends wanted to watch another one. I just hopped along because I wanted to watch another movie. It was called The Invitation with Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones. Uh, it's a vampire romance movie. uh,
They chose that one.
it was yeah, no, I mean they went with me to watch Barbarian, but then they wanted a palate cleanser, so we watched The Invitation.
Uh,
Because Barbarian left us really messed up. It was I slept with the night light, man.
what is it? Is it just like super gory or just like?
It's just scary, man. It's super tense. And not even the jump scares. It's just the way that they set up the origin of the evil in the movie, and the way that just the location, because it was like an underground tunnel and it was always dark, and you would be in like in this perspective where it was like almost not even third person. It was like you had a grasp of their reactions, and you had a grasp of the environment around, so you were tense for them and you were tense for whatever's around them. So it was just so I want to rewatch it because it was so good.
So it was more like ghost story than anything.
Yeah, yeah. There is some reality, like there is some actual, like, something in that movie that does exist in real life, but the main threat is not real. So it's, yeah,
Okay.
it's like,
As long as it's not gore, then I'm okay.
no, no. There is gore, but that's not there. It's not the voice. It's not like every 5 minutes. The gore only happens when there's a death or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. The Invitation was fine. Vampires, they did the classic, and I'm like, ugh. There was a point where the protagonist had got like, was in front of this vampire, and the vampire, instead of attacking, they just went like tried to hiss, and I'm like, ugh, what's going on? I feel weird. Why are you hissing at me? um, Aside from that, man, not much else. I don't think, aside from from the movies. I don't think I've watched anything at home. Oh, I tried watching that Jeffrey Dahmer show, the monster one on Netflix. I only watched the first episode, and that's as far as I'm gonna go. I
Yeah, that's some
I felt horrible.
yeah, that's some
watching
deep
that.
shit, man. Seriously.
I felt icky because in my mind it's like this is all reenactments. This actually happened, and watching it, it's horrible. I felt weird. It felt terrible. I'm glad the man's dead, but golly, it's horrible for the families to see a show, because I saw on Twitter them sharing this scene of one of the family members or one of the victims' family members like breaking down at court, and they recreated that for the show, and it's, I don't know, it's messed up. It's horrible. But yeah, man, it's been a spooky week, kind of getting into the spooky spirit for October, I guess.
I'll definitely need to watch Barbarian. It looks cool. I just saw like a little bit of a trailer, so I'm down.
Yeah,
to watch
don't
that.
watch him no more, because you'll. I do think that the trailer is enough. Don't look into it anymore, because the twists are insane.
Yeah, I'll see if maybe I can catch that. Because Sammy and I are actually going to see Avatar this weekend. So,
Ooh, right, that came out. That's only out for
Yeah.
like 10 days, right?
around there, the ad I saw was like 2 weeks, but it could be just
2
10
weeks,
days.
okay.
But
No, I think
yeah,
it's
we're
2
gonna
weeks.
we're gonna go see that this weekend. But she's not into like those kind of movies like that, so I probably just have to go by myself, in all honesty, during a weekend or something.
Tell her to support you. You know, emotional. You gotta tell her. You gotta play the marriage card. Hey, you said
Oh
it.
no, I
for
wouldn't
better
do
or
that
for-
to her, man. I
You
wouldn't
gotta
do
tell her
that to
for
her.
better or for worse, Sammy. This is for worse. You gotta be with me.
I wouldn't do that to her, man. That's it's like taking Soul to like the Haunted Mansion movie or something. You know, like you just don't do
Hey.
that. What happened?
You're not married to Soul.
what happens? What?
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's funny. That's actually funny that you say that, because I think I'm actually gonna go and watch the Avatar movie as well next week.
Cool.
So yeah,
Man,
it's fun.
I'm disappointed they're only doing 3D. I wanted to only watch it in IMAX, but you know, I guess I'll watch it IMAX 3D. I guess, you know, I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's I remember watching it. Not even IMAX. I don't think IMAX was around.
No, I don't think
then.
IMAX was that, like, it was either resurged or whatever. But I remember watching it in 3D. But
Yeah, I
ever
watched
since
it in
then,
3D. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth. Like, honestly, that experience of going to the movie theater with my cousins and buying the movie ticket, the 3D movie ticket for Avatar, not really knowing a lot about it and watching it for the first time was one of the most memorable experiences I ever had in a movie theater. So I'm excited to kind of recreate that, but with my wife, and see it now in full 4K HDR and just kind of relive before the second movie comes out. So it's definitely worth the extra money for 3D, in my opinion.
all right.
It's a James Cameron joint, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah, and the man is always sassy, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did see that article too, where he's like, what was it, the Fox representative, something like that. Tell him to do
Yeah.
one thing for the movie. He's like, no, I made fucking Titanic. I'm gonna do what I want.
I'm doing what I want.
Like, talk your shit, man. Talk your shit.
Yeah. My man knows who he is.
Oh man.
Nice. But yeah, man, that's gonna wrap up that little segment, and now we can move on to the podcast proper and chip away at some of these bigger topics that we got, because we got a lot to talk about. So yeah, we got a few small things that we can knock out of the way first. Macho Yoshi P was talking recently in an interview, and he said that we can expect the next big Final Fantasy 16 trailer sometime in October. So this begs the question: do you think that this is gonna be debuted at a potential PlayStation showcase?
Well, what's funny is that I was thinking the exact same thing, and I was like, Soul's totally gonna shoot me down. That this is not gonna happen. But yeah, I think this could possibly maybe get a PlayStation showcase. If not a showcase, then what else is gonna happen in October?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I doubt, especially for a game that big and a game that big that Sony is also like so heavily associated with, like that it feels like something like that doesn't warrant just a blog post or them just putting it out on YouTube randomly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean you're right. Like where else do you put something that big, right? And then I believe he also said in that interview that he's hoping to have the release date in this trailer as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
I feel like that's something you would want in a showcase.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Even if it's like an opener or a closer, you can see it for both scenarios. But yeah, I really think that does beg the question if there's going to be some sort of another state of play. It won't be a PlayStation Showcase, right? Or would it be a PlayStation Showcase?
I don't know, man. It would be weird if it's another state of play, because like in that case, like what's the harm in well, the last state of play was to be like a whole like before a big introduction to TGS, so it makes sense why they did it at that time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it would be weird because have we ever had two state of plays in back-to-back months? Like I don't know.
No, unless it really called for it, and this can because of what I was saying before of why there could be a state of play or a PlayStation Showcase is to kind of give the rollout to what's going to happen in 2023. Because right now, as far as like the PS5 exclusives that we know of that are coming in 2023, is Forspoken, and that's about it, right? In January,
Spider-Man and Final Fantasy.
right? Spider-Man, Final Fantasy. We don't know like exactly when they're gonna show up, so I can imagine at least getting like a release window for Spider-Man 2, and an actual release date for Final Fantasy 16, maybe like a June
I
release.
I would, and I know I've been, beating the drum of team like no showcase, or at least if there is a showcase, we won't get a ton from first party. But I would be shocked if we go this entire year without hearing from Spider-Man 2. Um,
Yeah.
like in a big way, because even with God of War, like yeah, like they were quiet after the announcement, but they at least showed a trailer, after that, like they didn't go radio silent for the entirety of 2021. Like they at least still showed one trailer that year. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's something we get at Game Awards instead of a showcase, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, where the heck does this thing show up if not at a PlayStation showcase?
Unless
Um,
unless it's like a state of play, and what they do is give like a 10-minute breakdown of God of War's gameplay in October, the month before it comes out, and then have a couple other surprise announcements from our third party partners and stuff like that.
yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
maybe something like that. Because the thing is, like, I'm wondering if they're actually gonna still do a God of War state of play.
I I feel like I was totally thinking that they would too, but then again, like I didn't think that they would show Ragnarok in the last state of play. Um, but I'm track record would say that yes, they're absolutely going to do that. Um, but at the same time, I feel like is it really needed, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know if you really need that gameplay breakdown.
right? Yeah. I don't know,
Going
man.
just by off of your analysis video, I think we're good on a breakdown of gameplay. People are excited.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, but yeah, man, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see like what happens with this thing and like where it shows up. Um, unless Square Enix just randomly decides to do like a little mini showcase themselves in October of all times. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Listen, they can at this point because they got so many games coming out that they probably
Right.
need another refresh for people to be like, hey, this is what we got for the next couple months. Like
And
literally
also
going down the list is a lot.
like I was just thinking about this to myself. And like Valkyrie Elysium, like I'm a little bit shocked that that game wasn't at the state of play. Um, because like that game is coming out fairly soon, right? I feel like
Next week?
all that we. Oh, okay. So yeah, so yeah, the time is up on that one. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I just felt like that game really needed like another big, showing from Sony because that is a PlayStation exclusive. So yeah, I was a little bit when I started remembering like, oh yeah, that game's coming out soon. I was a little bit shocked that that wasn't at the state of play. So yeah, I mean, if Square Enix was doing anything, then it's like, what are they gonna do? Like show Forspoken again? They can't show Valkyrie Elysium. Dio Field is already out, right? As
Mm-hmm.
well. Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with this trailer and how it's debuted. Because again, I would be shocked that if it's just like we wake up on a Tuesday morning, it's like, oh, brand new Final Fantasy 16 trailer dropped on Twitter, like without any fanfare or much lead up to it, just a random drop. Like I don't know, I'd be shocked if that's the case, if that's what we get.
Yeah, I would be too, because Yoshi P doesn't really operate like that. He's low key a troll. He loves to tease people a lot. So,
Yeah.
and but the thing is, when he does that, he's sure in the path and the course that they're taking. Because he did say before that the next time he wanted to show us the game was when they're near completion, and he wasn't wrong when he showed that trailer during the summer, and we actually got the actual release window. So this one, you can imagine it's actually going to have the next one have the release date in it too. And I mean, when you said like something coming out of the blue just shows up on Twitter, I immediately thought of Kingdom Hearts 4. But even then, they had like a whole event for that reveal too. So
Right.
I can imagine for Final 16, yeah, they're gonna go the extra mile. They're gonna give it the Final Fantasy 15 marketing treatment for sure.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
that's what I expect.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So yeah, gonna be very interesting to see when this thing comes out. But regardless, very excited to seemingly we're not too far off from another big look at that game. So yeah, very very
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah, you guys are in for a treat with the music, man. Like, it's, man, just breaking down the latest trailer and going through all like the music notes, especially how it relates to 14's music and everything, and just the actual. You guys remember the song of the theme of Final Fantasy going with the names of the icons.
Yeah.
Just it's epic. It's epic, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for this man's ability to make great music. So. I know about my Final Fantasy Friday streams, Flame always talks about how great the music is for the trials because it's like a mix of Persona's rock, and lyric songs and of a boss fight essentially. So I just can't wait to see what this guy actually does with medieval, more of a medieval spin on Final Fantasy. So it's gonna be cool.
It looks all right.
Yeah, it's not what you said last time, bitch.
Nah. Nah.
Whoa.
Hey, yo. No, I'm mega excited, man. I can't wait. I want more FF16. I just want a demo or something,
Whoa.
man. Give me a demo.
Speaking of your excitement,
Oh, man.
I hate to break it to you, if you were excited for the Persona Super Live concert later this year, I would temper those expectations now, after we just had an interview with Atlas saying there will be no new game announcements at Persona Super Live this year.
Listen, man.
Hey yo,
Hey, yo, we got that in the background, macho.
I'll definitely need to watch. Oh, that's my bad. Sorry.
I was like, am I going crazy? Listen, man. I saw that tweet. I immediately went to the comments. People were like, oh, they're just saying this.
that's copium right there,
That's
man.
a copium, man. That's a big tank of copium, my boy. Listen, I'm always talking about how, oh, I'm excited, I'm looking forward. Listen, man, I'm never expecting Atlas to do anything. My expectations are never through the roof. I'm always excited to see what they do in the moment of. But before that, I'm just like, y'all are weird with the way that you release your announcements and make all these just, I don't know, man. Everything's been merch. The last few months, it's been just merch. And now I know what it feels like to be a Square Enix fan sometimes. Because all they do
No,
is
no,
merch.
don't even go there.
Listen, buddy.
We actually been getting games. I don't know about you, but I can count at least like 10 games from this year.
Quality or quantity?
Enjoying just licking my fingers
How
off.
you been? How you been?
Yeah,
is that how you eat? Yeah.
You want to hear it again? That's so you freak, huh?
No.
I thought you were gonna say I know how it feels to be a Sly Cooper fan. I'm like,
Oh well, that's true. That's true. That is very true. No, listen. So they said the big 6 announcements or whatever, how many, and I'm just holding off on that. When you mentioned that there's potential of them announcing something in this the Persona Live or whatever, I didn't hold my breath. I didn't listen to it and say, hey, you know what, Soul might have a point. I said no, Atlas ain't built like that. They're weird. They're not gonna do that. And then that tweet came out. I'm like, yeah, no, thank you for reassuring me that I don't have to be expecting anything. But here's the thing, man. The copium in me is like, maybe they will. Maybe they'll say something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't hold your breath for Atlas. That's for sure.
I really ain't, man. It's crazy because I'm not even expecting Persona 6. Just tell me 1 and 2 are coming to modern consoles or something. Like, I don't know. Like, do something with your old ones. Like, everything is 3 and 4. I get it. Yeah, finally we're getting those for modern consoles. But there's nothing regarding the past ones. Or the SMTs of the past. What happened with SMT? I know we got Nocturne. We got 5 recently. Is that it? Is that it for SMT? Like, are we just done? Same with Soul Hackers. We got Soul Hackers 2, right? Where's literally every other property you do? Like Redux and the first Soul Hackers. And just literally everything you have made in the past 10 years. Like, everything is just, it's a weird time. It's a merch time. They're making this mouthwash and all this, and listen, man, I'm not about to buy your mouthwash. I ain't about to clean this mouth for you. You have to tolerate this stinky breath so you give me that Persona 6.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
how are you feeling, Soul? How are you feeling about this?
What's that saying? I'm not mad or whatever. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I'm feeling right now. But
sad, man.
I definitely won't be watching that concert now. So congratulations, Atlas.
Thanks, Atlas.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's that. Just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, man.
Us Persona fans continue to take L's this year, man. It
ain't easy, man.
Yeah,
but we're here.
Hate to see
it. But hey, RGG coming through, so I'm happy. I'm happy. One Japanese company with some of the best, kind of JRPGs or Japan said games are doing something. Because Square Enix is always doing. They never stop. They're like MAPPA for anime, but for games, they just keep doing shit. And I hope something sticks. And everything sticks, I guess.
Hey, man.
That's crazy.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, man.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good about all of this. Not gonna lie. All those Persona 5 stinkers just been it's been stinking up the joint, as Soul was saying. with their this is what Japan looks like, and this is the best game ever. treating it like the Breath of the Wild JRPGs. Like, man,
is this your champion?
Man, if you don't go back under your rock with your favorite starfish and just play some more JRPGs, like, cut it out, man.
Yeah. To the Spider-Man thing earlier. Just quick thing. I'm glad the Miles Morales is coming to Steam.
Oh man, you want to change subjects real quick? Now
right? I was like, what? What does that have to do with Persona?
Because it's hurting me, man. It's hurting me. Talk about Atlas. Talk about Atlas over here. Let's talk about something else. They hurting me, man.
Well, we could talk about another Marvel superhero, man, and that's Iron Man.
Shit.
Because apparently EA Motive is making an Iron Man game, and why did they announce this now? Because my big takeaway from this was that they're, or I don't know if they probably did specifically say this themselves. One of the bullet points that I saw, like I think Nibel or Benji Sales or someone else say, in their post about this, was that this game is in pre-production.
Oh, so they're hiring.
So, well, yeah, that's definitely probably like more than likely the point why they made this announcement now, but. I don't know. I get why you guys need to do that, but at the same time, it's like, we are gonna see this game for like 4 years at the best, man.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I guess like some of the other stuff that we know is that this is gonna be an original story, um, featuring Iron Man, but also something that came out from all of this is that with Marvel games, right? And so we've seen Avengers, the Insomniac games as well, Amy Hennig's game, and now this Iron Man game. Is that there isn't going to be a sort of an MCU kind of thing, like a cinematic universe that ties all these games together. And my big takeaway for that, or my reaction from that, is thank God. Just let these
Yes.
things exist by themselves. You don't need at the end of Iron Man, Spider-Man sitting in a coffee shop or something like that, being like, "Hey guys," winking at the camera, and then roll credits. Like you don't need that shit, man.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes every time. So yeah, man. What do you guys think about this whole announcement? And are you guys down for an Iron Man game?
It makes sense to do it after, it's still Marvel, so it makes sense to do it after the roadmap for.
Yeah, man. I mean, WB is not gonna do it.
Yeah, man, 100%. That's why I'm glad that the roadmap was set up for the MCU. Now people are actually, get with their ears perked up for anything Marvel related. So now with this announcement, my big thing, and I said this in the Double XP podcast, is I just hope they do a good Tony. Because I know that we've been spoiled with RDJ and everyone's just expecting this charismatic, just absolutely, over the top, just incredibly made character. Uh, Some people say that the Tony in Marvel's Avenger was a good Tony. I don't know about that, Chief. Go back and play that game. But
I mean, he wasn't bad, but like
it wasn't bad. But
it
listen,
was just
man,
forgettable. It was forgettable.
yeah, and that you don't want that, man. It's like Batman. You want a charismatic and suave Bruce Wayne. You want someone to remember. You don't want just some dude wearing a bat suit and during the day he's just a millionaire. No, you need someone that has the charisma. He has that spice in him, And my big thing with Iron Man is that the gameplay, make it Anthem-like, make me feel like Iron Man. But other than that, just make a good Tony. Make the story memorable. Don't just make this, a Ubisoft style open world just with a checklist of things to do. It's motive. I don't think they have the history of doing that. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. We're not excited for the game. It's been literally pre-production. We just heard the damn announcement of the game. There's not even like an official teaser or anything. So, oh no, man, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think Iron Man gets enough love in the gaming universe. It's just like Superman got that horrible N64 game. I hope this is not a horrible experience. I hope this is an actual good game. What about you, Macho?
There's a lot of potential for this to be really good. And not really based on the studio or anything, but just the concept of an Iron Man game that makes it really exciting. And I think if they actually take the Spider-Man and Insomniac Spider-Man approach with it, where we're literally dropped into the middle of Spider-Man, like not in his veteran years, but more in his prime, right? Like in Insomniac Spider-Man, it's like what, 8 years he's been Spider-Man. So I think we get the same thing for Tony Stark for this new game, where he's more or less in his prime and he's already dealt with a couple of villains he has history with, there's also like this new threat on the loom, but at the same time he also has all these different prototypes and outfits for different Iron suits. I think that can be super cool to kind of go back to like your hideout and say like, oh, I want this suit because for this mission specifically it's more range, so this can do with this suit can do rockets and stuff like that. I think that'd be super dope, and it also could tie into more like companions for like different quests. So like having like Black Widow or well,
Do you
God,
think
what's
they
his
will
name?
have other heroes in it? Because I wouldn't mind just a solo Iron Man game. Because I think what made Spider-Man so special is it's a cast of characters and it's pretty much Peter against the world. No?
No, well, yes and no, because what makes Peter such a strong character is the characters around him as well. So
Mary Jane's not over here kicking butt with him, okay?
So, but still, she did the work. So is Mary Jane getting involved? There's also Aunt May and the Feast orphanage, right?
And
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
also Miles Morales that was introduced in the game as well, and then on top of
Hmm.
all that, spoilers for Spider-Man if you haven't played it, but Doc Ock,
Wow.
you
What a
know.
spoiler.
So that was like one of the biggest twists in terms of that entire story,
Yeah.
and that's what made that character so strong and such a good story as well. So we had the same thing for Tony,
Yes.
where he has introduced to all these different characters. Not like Avengers stuff, right? Maybe there's like hints and
Yeah,
nods like
that's my
Spider-Man is,
worry.
but
I don't want them to like bring other heroes because with Spider-Man, companions were the people in his circle. You know, Mary Jane, Miles, Aunt May, Doc Ock. You know, for Iron Man, you have I don't know like what's her name, Pepper. Like you have her. You have
Pepper Potts, yeah.
yeah, Pepper Potts. You have possibly Ironheart. I don't know. I don't know if that's a route you
No,
go.
I no, Ironheart would. I mean, maybe they introduce the same thing like Miles Morales, but
Sure.
that would
Um.
probably be like a potential second game. But like, I'm thinking more of
Mhm.
like what's Rhodey's superhero name?
Oh man, War Machine.
War Machine, yeah, yeah, like having
Yeah,
War Machine in there,
bring
or
Don Cheadle in here. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think that the potential of this game could be really great. But there's a couple things they need to nail, and that's one, Tony's inner circle with his characters and the actual story, right? It needs to be a strong story. And secondly, they need to have really strong flying gameplay.
Yeah, Anthem. Just make it Anthem. Anthem had phenomenal
Yeah, I can
gameplay.
see that. I mean, I hear all hears great things about that. So sure.
Yeah, and one of the big things, it's how even if you're not flying, there's this thing of hovering. That if you're not walking places, you're hovering to places, and you're just like above, just barely above the ground, and it makes you feel like you're just thrusting that little bit. You feel like Iron Man, you're about to blast off. You know, and Anthem had those little things, and I think that if they can get that down, uh, they have a great Iron Man gameplay. But I mean, you know, I don't know what route they're going. Are they even going to touch on like with Peter and Spider-Man? Will they do those little moments of drama, you know, with where you play as Tony and not as Iron Man? You know, those
I
are things
mean,
that.
maybe. And the thing is, you had to imagine that Marvel was getting as involved with this as they did with Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you would think that they would want to do it justice
Well,
as much as the Spider-Man, at least up to the quality of Insomniac Spider-Man.
of course, what worries me then is if you know Marvel's getting involved with Iron Man. Wouldn't that be more Disney getting involved and Marvel? Because for Insomniac, it was more Marvel because Spider-Man is not necessarily like Disney proper. He's more attached to Sony. So, would there be some difference in creative differences for the Iron Man game?
No, because you're specifically dealing with Marvel games, not with Sony.
Mm, okay.
And that was the
Because I
case
don't
for
want.
Spider-Man, where a lot of I think his name's Bill Rosenbaum, who's like one of like the heads for Marvel games.
Hmm.
Where he had hands-on approach with the game, along with the creative director, whose name I'm forgetting right now for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But he had hands-on with that game and a couple other Marvel games that get shipped out. So I can imagine like as soon as like if they're making an Iron game, they're gonna hit him up more than anything than like Sony. So
Gotcha.
Sony is more like with movies and stuff like that, I think. So
Right. So, what do you think about the Iron Man game?
Um, I don't know. I probably won't play it. I mean, he's not like my favorite superhero or anything, but like I will say that like my biggest thing is that like are you guys a- are you guys afraid of this being or kind of crossing into like a uncanny like valley territory with this because like I feel like we already have an Iron Man in the Avengers game, so now like it's like okay if they do introduce Black Widow in this game, all right now we have
Hmm.
two Black Widows, right?
Yeah,
So it's like I feel like obviously Marvel Games is going to expand this thing like more and more and more. Like we already have two Spider-Mans too,
we do.
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, we're about to have two Captain Americas, two Black Panthers. It's like, and I don't know, like they kind of have to do this because like they're not going to do a connected universe, and I don't want them to do a connected universe either. But it is kind of like a double-edged sword because now it's like we could possibly get to a point where we're gonna have goddamn like 4 iterations of some of these characters, right? So I don't know.
Hmm.
It just kind of feels like it's definitely like a double-edged sword with them taking this route. I don't begrudge them for making all these games like standalone stories that are disconnected from one another. But yeah, it is kind of an interesting like consequence of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Thankfully, it's not like the movies where it's like, we have different Spider-Man movies, so like, who's gonna be the Spider-Man, and is the actor gonna be
Hmm.
going back and forth? Thankfully, they do have some leeway with that, but I think it's the same thing, kind of like Spider-Man shows too, like the animated shows. Like, there's so many different ones, and all of them are obviously not connected. All are kind of different, but each one it's kind of serves a different audience and kind of grew up with like certain Spider-Man shows. So I think it's the same thing with the games. With like the people that are going to be playing the Captain America and Black Panther probably never play the Avengers game, or people
Right.
people who played the
Yeah.
Spider-Man game probably never played Avengers as well and didn't even realize there was a Spider-Man character in it that does like to do Zumba. So I'm not sure.
What is so inevitable, and it'll happen. It always happens. Comparisons always happen, and it's tough that there's gonna be someone that he will hear comparisons of him to RDJ. Like there's with Jury, you have people comparing to Tom, Toby, and Andrew, but now you'll have one person being compared to I don't know
Salute.
who does the RDJ in
Thank you.
or not the RDJ, but the Tony Stark in Avengers. I don't know who's the performer. Who is it? Is it Nolan North? Is that who
Yeah,
does Tony?
he did Iron Man and Avengers, and he didn't do a
Okay.
bad job. So like
Yeah,
honestly,
no.
but still like I don't want my Iron Man sounding like Nolan North.
Yeah, is Iron Man gonna be played by Nolan North? Is it gonna be a Troy Baker type deal? Like, are we gonna have one of these big, or are we gonna have an up and coming, more similar to the character type uh cast for Iron Man? I don't know. I mean, pre-production. We barely just started, so we'll see where they take it. I don't know what the vision is yet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we will have to wait and see for that. We'll be doing a lot of waiting on that. I'm afraid.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but yeah, man. So let's move on from that, and well, I'm gonna let you take this one away. Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So this anime came out fairly recently, and I think the coolest thing that has spurned from this anime is just the resurgence that Cyberpunk 2077 is seeing like really everywhere. People are realizing that after the rocky launch, to say the least, there is actually a pretty damn decent game underneath all of that. Um, I this year I absolutely fell in love with Cyberpunk 2077. Um, I was disappointed in some areas with it not being as RPG as I wanted it to be, but regardless, I was absolutely like swept by that world. I think Night City is one of the best locations, like fully realized locations in all of gaming. Like it is just so densely packed that it feels like you actually have to engage with the environment in order to navigate it properly. Um, yeah, I just adore that world and its characters, and it's really cool seeing that people are either they're discovering it for the first time or jumping back in. It's really cool to see. Um, so yeah, guys, talk about Edge Runners and how it brought you guys back to 2077.
Yeah,
Oh
we
man.
we we are the actual we are the kind of in that crowd now, well, of like people
Yeah.
who kind of have looked at Cyberpunk with a side eye, and now we're back into that world. So
Yeah. We're part of the how officially today. It's they're at 104,000 concurrent players on
Let
Steam.
let me just say that So all of my high praise and talking for this game earlier in the year did
Hmm.
nothing for you guys until you an anime with some cute anime girls. That's what did it for you.
Listen.
That
Not
was
just
that was
any
the straw
anime.
that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Listen, it took
Yes.
Trigger to do
Yes.
it. It took the anime studio. Listen, we know Kill la Kill, we know Gurren Lagann, we know Kiss Niver, we know Promare. These people don't mess around.
All
I
these
don't.
all
I
this flowery talk, well, is just a long way of saying yes.
No, because
Yeah.
listen. If it wasn't Trigger, I don't think the game would have been as successful or as hyped up as it is now, or people would not have been given it another chance as they are now. I think because they chose Trigger, and Trigger has such a specific way of storytelling and a way of just it bringing you in with its characters and its world and its stylistic look. Because I think Cyberpunk 2077, the game, is a very stylish game. It's a game that's oozing with just this the neon filled light streets of Night City and all of this just cybernetic augmentations, and there's so much going on that I think only Trigger has the capacity of bringing that into the anime medium. I don't think that's something that A1 Pictures can do. I don't think that's something that Bones can do the same way that Trigger just. That's the perfect company to do that. That's why Visions, that their episode was so good. They're incredible. Um, I'm happy that this happened. I wasn't feeling anything before Edgerunners. I was just like, yeah, Cyberpunk just didn't work for me because it was just broken on release, and I never played it again. But this game just it made me I kind of want to revisit that. I want to explore those streets again. I gotta get back to the streets and become a legend, as they say, and go with my boy Silverhand and meet Keanu once more, and man, I'm really taking my time. I'm going at it slow, reading every dialogue, reading every piece of lore. I'm really investing myself into this universe, and I agree with Soul that Night City truly is. I mean, they took it straight out of a TTRPG, module. Night City is just absolutely incredible, and the characters as well. They're fully realized. I think what sets it apart from it's not as RPG in some aspects as you might want, but I think it compensates with, or it makes up for it with its characters. Because Soul, I know you're a big fan of Judy. Uh, and listen, Judy is not just eye candy. She's a fully realized, very deeply written character. There's trauma in her. There's stories behind her. There's relationships with different characters in the world with her, not just you and her. Same with Panem, same with Evelyn, same with Jackie. Everyone in this world just feels like they exist in this virtual playscape. Uh, the villains make sense. The corporate, what's it called? Corporate colonialism, what they call in the video game. Fighting against these big companies. Everything just feels like it's grounded, but it's also larger than life with the augmentations and the. It also doesn't seem far fetched or too far off because it could be a possibility in the future. So it makes you question things. What's it mean to be human? What's it mean to, what is your purpose? How do you seek purpose? Do you keep going in spite of knowing that the end is coming? What does it mean to what do you mean to others? Do you just end it and do not care what others think? There's so much depth and philosophy to this game that I knew was there, but the gameplay was what kept me away from this game. But after experiencing Edgerunners and knowing that the next gen update that you saw hyped up a lot and said that did a great job at bringing the game to a state of actual playability, though if it wasn't for what you said, Edgerunners was not the only thing that pushed me to play it. Edgerunners reminded me of the world. You reminded me of the gameplay, and it just so happened that I was in the right moment, the right time, and I'm so happy I gave it another shot because I'm just having a blast, man. I'm gonna play this game for so long. I'm gonna explore every nook and cranny of Night City, meet every character, buy every house because apparently now there's multiple houses or multiple apartments you can have, different ones. Um, Listen, man, I'm in it for the ride, and I hope Trigger keeps doing. I hope they keep exploring Night City, not just with David Martinez's story, but make stories for other characters. You know, bring because nights. That's the thing. Cyberpunk's 2077 is not so much about V or about David or about Evelyn. It's about Night City. It's the idea that if you live in Night City, it's you against the city. The city is its own character. And I think that's such a difficult thing to do in a video game, where the world is its own character. You know, in a movie, this house is its own character. Its lore, its idea, or the idea of what it means to live in there or be there. I'm excited, man. What about you,
Macho,
Macho?
what about you?
Yeah, sorry, the Harley was rolling around, so I wanted to make sure y'all didn't hear the jingle all the time. You probably hear him right
Oh,
now.
I hear it.
You're right right now. He's ready to go outside. He's so cute. No, I heard everything you said, Walden. Honestly, I wanted to bring it back to Jay's point of like, well, now you guys get into it. What's going on? And to that point, man, I listened to your stories. I actually watched the reaction you did for one of the missions, which I phased out of my head, so I don't even remember what it really was, other than the guy getting like nailed to a cross or something like that. But that's all I remember, and I don't remember any sort of context surrounding it or anything like that, or what leads up to it. I don't remember anything like that. But I just remember like seeing and hearing you talk about these stories and be like, all right, this is something I actually eventually want to try out. I think this is like a game of, once I see it for a good price and then I have a little more gaming time, then yeah, I want to dip into it and really invest myself into it. So the interest was there. But Cyberpunk Edgerunners, man, was just it just broke the ice for me. And I told Walt this a little bit before you drop into our conversation in the chat, that the cyberpunk aesthetic and the theme doesn't really interest me. It doesn't really tickle my fancy. I'm kind of not of a fan of like the creepy, unsettling factor that these people really kind of mesh their bodies with mechanics and just all sorts of cybernetics. It's just like
Are you
that's
saying
so
people
creepy to
that
me.
are you saying people that got amputated are
Stop
creepy?
being no, don't be a dick. Don't
Wow.
be a dick.
Are you
No,
saying my uncle what? Okay.
no. I mean in the sense of like that's purely
I know augmentations.
yeah, no, but that's what you're talking about is purely out of necessity. Like they need that shit to
Yeah.
live and to actually
Yeah.
function. We're talking about people in this universe that like are full on greed and just want to enhance themselves to better their ego.
Yeah.
And all that fills into greed, all that fills into selfishness, and that kind of world, that kind of depression in that entire landscape just doesn't interest me. I'm just like, I do not
Very
want to be a part of that.
nihilistic. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not want to be a part of that because that just sounds depressing and like a world I don't want to invest myself in. But then watching Edgerunners and actually seeing the human factor of these characters and seeing their histories and like them actually tackle situations that I had questions about if they actually face head on, and to see them actually tackle those challenges and either be defeated by them or overcome them is really miraculous, and it's something I did not expect from the cyberpunk aesthetic in the world and everything like that. So seeing there's examples of that in that anime, on top of the gorgeous animation, the amazing music, the well-directed scenes, and the voice acting and the writing, so damn good. I want to see if that's reflected in the game. And from what Sol was talking about and what you were just saying right now, really cemented the fact that, yeah, this is a game I need to start playing. Because now I'm actually invested into this world the same way I got invested with League of Legends Arcane, invested into that whole atmosphere. I want to do the same thing with Cyberpunk, but the difference is now this is a game I'm actually interested in. It's an action open world RPG. It's not a top-down MOBA, competitive game. This is a game I'm actually interested in, so I want to try. I want to give it its fair shake. And Walt, you just brought up a really great point too of how the world and the actual era of like the area of Night City feels like its own character. I fucking love games that do that. I fucking love them when they do that. Because when you say that, the one game that I think about that has games that have like their own worlds as their own character are games like Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 1, The Police Station, Final Fantasy 14. That has so much history and so much rich culture in it. Like I want to see that, and now that I'm actually invested into the cyberpunk aesthetic, I think I give it its fair shake. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, the anime is fucking dope. Go watch it. Mind you, don't watch with the kids around. You definitely don't want that. So definitely close your door when you're watching it.
I mean,
It's
don't.
bad. It's bad.
No, Macho, you're built different. You're just like you see a little bit of blood and you're like, ugh.
No,
Like, my man,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual nudity.
dude, it's like seconds of it. Like it's not even a whole scene of it. It's literally seconds.
No, it's
To be
not.
fair,
It's really
to be
not.
fair, you were saying how you didn't want to play Cyberpunk on stream because of the
The
nudity.
game
Exactly,
does. No, I'm
exactly.
talking about Edgerunners.
But no, but
Yeah, I
even
know.
but Edgerunners is still like a lot of titties. There's titties every episode. So
Well, listen. People are not scared of titties. YouTube is.
I come to expect that with Cyberpunk. So
oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Cyber
with
titties.
anything Cyberpunk, yeah, there's always that.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't. I guess surprised is the wrong word. I was just more like, damn, there's a lot of titties in this anime. Like, I was not expecting that for an
Yeah,
anime
man, they
at the very
exist.
least.
They exist in real life.
Shut
You know
up.
what-
Paul.
like-
Shut up.
No, you know what's Did y'all see? Well, not you, Macho, but I shared. I found on Steam this game, and I shared it on Twitter. People really got excited and wanted to play the game. It's called Cyberpunk 2069.
Oh
It's on
yeah, I did
Steam.
see. I did see that from you. Yeah.
Yeah, people go crazy.
Unfortunately,
I had to mute you from the DualShock Sense podcast. So.
Oh yeah. And then you complain, no one answers me. No one me play.
No, but yeah. So like, I'm totally, I'm in. I want to see that tonight is either going to be, well, I definitely want to watch Rings of Power starting tonight because I want to watch before Hawaii. And then definitely type into Cyberpunk. I know I probably shouldn't because Valkyrie literally comes out next week, but man, I got this itch to scratch, and only Cyberpunk 2077 can do it. So
Do
Gotta
it,
do it.
Chum.
shut up. Man, but yeah, I would say don't watch with the kids around because yeah, there's quite a bit of gore and blood and all that stuff, but there's also because a lot of nudity. So
Yeah.
so just as a warning because I did not expect that kind of.
Oh my god, you're a grown ass man.
It doesn't matter. Well, when people are going into something, they need to know that kind of stuff, or else
You need
they're
to
gonna
know
catch
that there's a titty?
surprise. Yes, especially in anime.
Oh my god.
Especially
You're
in
the
anime.
reason
Sorry,
why they
well,
have
I don't
to
watch
put
the perverted shit that you watch all the time for
you're the
anime, where there's
you're
not
the kind of
titties every episode. I'm sorry, I don't watch that
you're-
stuff. I'm more civil. I actually have.
You're the kind of person.
Let me not go there.
It's because of people like you. They put instructions on shampoo to not put under your eyes. Because
All
it's
right,
like everything.
all right. So
needs
now,
to be
so now you say that I'm actually gonna say this now. Listen, at least I got a wife to go to in the bed. All right, at least I got.
Oh man! Therefore, you got me used to it. Why are you surprised at the titties?
just for that shampoo comment. Now I gotta throw out the dirt now.
Yeah.
That's low. That's low.
That's low. If that's your
disappointed.
reasoning, then you're used to it. Why are you surprised?
Why are you surprised by titties?
Why are you surprised by titties? You live with them. Come on.
I thought you were saying because I have them. I'm like, damn.
Oh,
well.
I don't know. I don't know if you have to or not. I know you.
Speaking of titties, watch the Final Fantasy Friday stream from yesterday. Y'all gonna have a good
Hey,
laugh
yo.
at that one.
Hey, yo. Why, you show a titty there?
There's a couple of never mind.
Yeah, shut up.
Anyway.
I'm just kidding. Well, I'm just kidding. I love you, bro. You know, it's all jokes.
Anyway, I think what you're seeing with Edgerunners and how it's influencing people to come back in droves to 2077. I think this is exactly why Sony is doing PlayStation Productions. They want that sort of that double dip, you know.
Oh man, that
yeah.
double dip. They went back for seconds and filled up 3 plates for the buffet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. That's why
So
the
that's-
HBO Last of Us is gonna make part 1 sell like crazy.
And
Facts.
why you would think, if they timed this correctly, that the Ghost of Tsushima movie will come out around Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Yeah.
Horizon, I would imagine that is. I mean, Horizon has, a VR game. We think there's a possibility that the multiplayer game that Guerrilla is working on is Horizon related. You
Oh man,
obviously
that would be
just
so
released
cool.
you just released Forbidden West. Now you have a Horizon series coming out as well, right? All of this sort of cross media promotion thing, it all kind of circles and loops back into one another. So it's smart, man, and CDPR is 2 for 2 with this stuff, and they're really paving the way for how this stuff should be done. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, man, I think it makes all the sense in the world why PlayStation is really trying to do this for their games as well.
Yeah, we're
Um,
seeing living examples of it with not only Cyberpunk but freak man, Castlevania. I watched the anime. What
Yeah.
did I do? I picked up
Play
all
the
the
games,
games,
you nerd.
and
but I feel like,
they're awesome.
but I feel like with that, Konami didn't take advantage of that and release like a new game for people to like.
Yeah.
They didn't take advantage of that. I feel like.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Um,
all he really did was the advanced collection, which got people hyped up, but yeah, it didn't really
yeah.
do much. So maybe with the next iteration of Castlevania, they might be doing something different. They may have something in the
With the
works
anime.
there. But yeah, yeah. I said there's so much potential for that, and that's why we can see these kind of things like for God of War TV show, Horizon TV show being actually good because you want that stuff to be
Hmm.
good because all the hype that I got from Cyberpunk Edgerunners is like, yeah, that's the ideal situation that you want.
And also to that point, Edgerunners did this thing where it kept the feeling of 2077. It kept the same vibe. So when people went back to the game, they didn't go, "Wait, this is not nothing like the anime." So if you do a show, make sure it goes along with the same lines of if you're doing Last of Us, make sure it feels like you're playing the game. Like if it gives that same vibe of dread and hopefulness or despair and or the characters are not one to one, but they if you look at Pedro Pascal as Joel and then you look at Troy Baker's performance, it's like, oh, okay, it's Joel. It's different Joels, but it's the same Joel in the same way. You don't want people to go back to your game and be like, this is kind of bad. This is nothing like the show. You don't want that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Senor.
Um, so yeah, this is awesome. I can't wait to start this anime. Yeah, I'm very excited for this, and yeah, congrats to CDPR, man, because I truly think that they had like something really really good on their hands with this game. Um, it really needed a couple extra months in the oven, and probably needed to drop the PS4 Xbox One versions.
Yeah.
um but yeah, I'm glad that people are giving this game a chance now and are actually discovering that, oh yeah, there's actually something pretty cool here.
Thank
So
you for
yeah,
never losing hope, Soul.
that is Cyberpunk 2077. um Next, probably the biggest story of the week, uh, guys, Grand Theft Auto 6. Um,
Yes, sir.
people are calling this a leak, but I think it's more apt to call this like a crime.
A
uh,
disaster.
No,
a
it's
crime.
I know people keep saying leak. You're right. I was hoping with touch on this because it's not a leak. It's a damn hack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They got
yeah,
hacked.
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's a
basically,
crack. So there's
this
a hacker and cracker. The cracker is the one that does
Whoa.
it for harm. The hacker does it to like get files and whatnot, but this is more malicious.
basically the story here is that yeah, I mean there was over 90 videos of GTA 6
Yep.
still in development that were posted online, and yeah, this happened on like a Sunday or like a Saturday night, I feel like it was definitely during the weekend at a time where I feel like most of these people are at home chilling.
Yeah.
And
That's fucked up.
yeah, so yeah, it was pretty wild, man. We got a few things confirmed out of these leaks: the dual protagonists, the location, obviously. Um, But yeah, I mean, I think just first and foremost, like I feel bad for the development team. This is not how you want your game, and it's like for a first showing, this is not how you want your game to be sort of revealed to the world. Um, and yeah, leaks or hacks of this nature always suck, not just for the development team, but for us as well, because we don't know, even though Rockstar came out with a statement and said this is not going to affect, the development of the game or anything like that. Um, we don't know what kind of consequences this has on the development team themselves. So yeah, I feel like this does affect both them and us. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, man,
And yeah,
I don't know what else to really add aside from that this sucks and
they caught the guy. Um,
17 year old uh
UK.
little delinquent in the motherland over there.
Yeah, which 17. If
You know what
this
I was
boy,
doing at 17?
what?
I don't know, probably watching Naruto or some shit.
Dude, at 17, I was probably studying for a Mr. Howell history exam or something. Like, listen, when when I saw that, I mean, he got caught like this today or yesterday. I think it was yesterday. In the UK, I'm like, once everything's said and done, you know, this kid needs to get hired somewhere. Like the absolute ability to do this, not the best way to output that skill, but I think that's a something to be recognized, and it's the fact that at 17 years old you were able to do this much damage, to the point where the FBI got involved.
Bro,
Um,
he was apparently in their Slack channel too.
oh
Yeah, he
my
hacked
God,
into their Slack channel. Yeah.
that's insane. That's crazy. No,
So like
What do you
he somehow
what
bypassed a two-factor authentication or whatever the case may be.
like what do you think he posted in there? Probably some like Fortnite
He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
biggest fan. No, listen. The leaks. I mean, what can I like in a positive way? Macho sent the message. Grand thick auto. And it's um,
Listen, they're
listen,
doing it right.
they're doing it right,
They're
man.
doing it
They're doing it right.
right over there.
They got the Latina down.
Yeah, they're doing it right over there. I was like, God damn, they're actually going the
it,
extra mile. I appreciate that.
yeah. What's more baffling about all this is it's the notion or the idea of, oh my God, it looks bad. Yeah, it's an early dev. It's like,
Are people really
first of
saying
all,
that, or is just
yeah,
people
no,
complaining
Twitter
about
were
people
no,
supposedly
it
saying that?
trended. It trended. People were just criticizing it to no end of how
Okay.
just bad it looked. That they did this game looked like GTA 5 or whatever. Listen,
All right. Because I know a
and
lot of people like to complain about other people that are saying something, and there's
no,
like no record of people
developers
saying that.
started sharing early builds of their own games in solidarity to this.
That
You had
I did
Control
see that this
posted.
morning. Yeah, I did
You
see that.
Yeah, you had Cult of the Lamb. So it's not just, oh, someone just said it. Well, no, it was like a whole movement of people just bombarding these devs. Classic
Cool.
gamer move. Um, but I'm glad that, Rockstar is going to take their time. I looked at it, and I'm going to be honest. For
It
early
looked
build, it
it
looked
looked
good.
better. It looked better than Saints Row. I can tell you that.
It looked, yeah,
The final
Damn.
version of Saints Row.
100%,
Damn. Y'all
100%.
savages. Why would you say that?
Keep in mind, this is a game that's still like 3 years out.
Holy
My
damn.
man,
Why
GTA
you
6
say that? That's so
leak
deep.
or exposed looked better than Saints Row 100%. 100%.
That's
There's no question.
that's
And
I think you're right.
honestly, it looked like GTA 5. GTA 5 is not a bad looking game when people say, "Oh, it just looks like GTA 5." GTA 5 still holds up. So imagine what GTA 6 is going to look like. It's going to be insane. No,
I'm really excited.
Rockstar has a pedigree of quality, except for the definitive edition for the trilogy. They have this thing with their new games. Red Dead 2 is still one of the best looking games there is. With one of the best looking worlds and characters and models and stories. So, dude, I'm this doesn't Did this discourage y'all from 6? Did this do anything to you mentally?
No.
Dude, it
No?
made me
Okay.
more excited than anything.
Same. Yeah.
Like,
Same.
I was obviously we all saw the leaks and or the, the videos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but just seeing it and watching the character kind of move around and see her different hairstyles too, and she had a map on bottom jeans. I'm just like, yo, this,
Yo.
this. I'm actually and I actually want to see more of this. Like, this looks cool, man. Like, actually, I'm more excited than I ever was for a Grand Theft Auto game. And
Yes, sir.
it's specifically because of like these videos too, where I actually got to see a little bit of the game in motion and everything. So
Yeah.
it's honestly pretty cool to see. I guess from what I got from podcasts, that people were actually more impressed than anything of how the game looks and the potential of what it can be in the next couple of years. So bless you.
Plus.
And I think it's cool that developers also shared like their early builds of games of like, yeah, this is how games look because, this is what game making looks like. And I
Yeah.
think that's really cool too because I think it's like a nice movement to like see how games are made and not enough of that is happening. So I'm glad that kind of. I'm not glad about the leak and the hack itself, but more just the fact
No,
that
but the
like
response from other devs, yeah.
right, yeah, the response has just been. It seems like it's been more overwhelming and supportive than anything else. So.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to
Yeah,
see.
man.
So I mean, I'm more excited than ever for this. So, what do you? Well, how about you, man? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm good. This didn't. I mean, as long as you have the understanding that this is an early version of a game that is still very much in development, then I feel like you don't have anything to really complain about. In terms of like the look of the game. So yeah, I'm good. Still gonna play it probably day one. Still looking
Yes,
forward
sir.
to it. So yeah.
Latina power.
Yeah,
Um,
they have so much potential with this, and you can imagine too that that every game is looking at that of Grand Theft Auto 6 and I'm like, damn, it looks good like
That's
that.
early dev?
Yeah, they're like that's early. God damn, oh man, move our release date to 2027 or something. Like every game's gonna be moving out of the way for this one. Just it's gonna be a moment for sure.
Yeah. I just hope this didn't affect. I hope morale is brought back up because I know a lot of dev must have been really bummed out when this happened.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm sure all the support too has been
Yeah.
great from the community and everything else. So I
It's
think
out there,
I think
man.
they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay.
Source code's out there. That's what's harmful. It's like having all this already out there.
But apparently he
Hopefully,
sold it, but then the person that bought it got scammed or whatever.
yeah, but dude, that's always in the net. When it touches the net, it's always in the net. There's no way, and nothing leaves the internet. It There's ways to replicate shit. I don't know. I don't trust that. I trust that. I hope that they don't do anything with it. But I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
see.
we'll see. But yeah, man, that's that for Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's GG feet.
Um, Next, sort of, yesterday, Macho. We
Mm.
got something I didn't even know we were kind of creeping up on was Sly Cooper's 20th anniversary.
Yes, sir.
So Sucker Punch and PlayStation took to Twitter to celebrate one of the biggest days in history, I would say.
Absolutely.
They shared some development secrets on I think the blog post or on the PlayStation blog, and then as well we got some nice little kind of things to celebrate the anniversary. We got a new poster, we got a Sly Cooper plushie, we got a T-shirt or a couple T-shirts maybe.
Just one.
All right, just one. But yeah, man. All in all, it was a pretty cool day to see just like the plethora of fan art from the community. Seeing Insomniac chiming in with showing Ratchet and Sly together. Naughty Dog, where you at? Why did you guys do that? Yeah, and then just seeing everyone in the community just kind of like sharing their memories of this franchise and stuff like that. So yeah, Macho, how was the day for you? And tell me some of your fondest memories of Sly Cooper.
Yeah, well, I was working. I was working and doing a whole bunch of life stuff and doing the Final Fantasy. But regardless, I did think about so many times just to go to that PlayStation version that's on PS Plus and just streaming it. But I don't want to do myself a disservice. The game deserves more than that. But I did see the outpour from the community on that blog post because, of course, that blog post is always tweeted out and stuff like that. So I went to go in the comments section to see what people were saying and all that. And it was really cool to see everybody. So, I mean, like, a lot of people ask either for a new game or remastered versions of the original. And there's so many comments of that, too. Like, so many subtweets and just comments and on the blog posts and videos and stuff like that. Like, I was really taken aback that, like, people still have this, adoring nature for Sly Cooper in the entire series. So, that was really cool to see, and that we're not alone, my brother. We're not on this love.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
As much as Walt likes to try to remind us.
Yeah. But regardless, it was a good day for a feast, and that one T-shirt they had there. Did you see it? It looks
It looks pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it looks
They
cool.
even got Carmelita in there as well, man.
I know that's like on top of the design, like the fact that those 4 characters are like on one shirt. Like I really want to buy it. So I think I might actually just take the plunge and go for it. I think you get a discount too, by the way. So I think there's just a $5 discount you can use for that.
Nice.
So yeah, I definitely want to pick that up. It was really cool. But as far as like my fondest memories with Sly Cooper, man, where to begin? I have so many because Sly Cooper was the one series. Well, I guess I could start like at the very beginning, where I remember seeing the box art for Sly Cooper at a Blockbuster. And just back then, when you're at a Blockbuster, all you had to really go by was the cover art and sort of the back of the box of like what you want to rent for that week, and to play for the entire weekend. So I remember looking at the box art, like, okay, this is pretty ominous. It's just like a black cover with just the like the pointy eyes of like the raccoon symbol for the Thievius raccoon and stuff like that. And then I remember opening it up because Blockbuster just had the manuals still in there because nobody stole them for some reason. I definitely would have. It was just a Thievius Raccoonus just in there, and I was just like, oh, this user manual was so cool, it's slick, it's actually like in the style look of the game, and it's bringing it home, just absolutely falling in love with the characters, the opening, the music, the characters themselves. I just fell in love with everything about that game, and especially going to different locations just to retrieve like your family's pages for different moves for being a great thief. It was just, to me, that was just so enamoring, and I loved every bit of it. And I just from them I just fell in love with this series, and it came to the point where it was like actually with the Kingdom Hearts series, where I played it for the first time, didn't realize there was a sequel coming out until I went to like a game store and saw the box at a game store, and I was like, wait, they came out a sequel for this game? Oh, I want it. And that's where I begged my dad, like literally begged my dad to get Sly 2 for me. And I remember bringing it home. We got some ice cream on the way home too. I remember that specifically. We got some morcillas and nacapullas as I held the game box in my hand.
Ay, ay, ay.
Just remember just taking the drive back home.
Greasy ass hands.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
that's why I don't have that box art no more.
Walt, that case was slipping and sliding in his hands.
My man dropped that box a lot.
Hey, man, that's why I don't have that box anymore, man. It's long gone.
It's greased up and in a junkyard somewhere.
I'm so sad I have the original copies of the games, but yeah, I remember bringing it home and playing Sly 2 for the first time, and again, that one thing where you play a sequel and you're just like, oh my god, they went above and beyond for this. And Sly 2 is just really that one of those games where you're just like, yeah, this is it.
It is the definitive Sly Cooper experience. Sly 2.
100%. With all the mini games and all the like the new stuff they introduced in that game, like I really need to go back and revisit it, which I definitely will on my Steam Deck. But I'm excited to just replay those games from start to finish and just really go ham on it, because it's like Cooper deserves it, man. That's why we've been saying for months now, for probably even years, that Sly Cooper series deserves a native resolution port and remaster. So let's get on it, man. We really need that, because the series deserves it, and it's great, and there's so many memories imbued with that, and I just had so much fun with that entire series that, to me, it's it's better than Jack and Daxter. It's better than Ratchet and Clank,
I
and
agree.
I'll take
See,
those. It's just
that
weird. It's
alone
just
makes
so
me want to
weird
play
to
it.
me. It's just
I
so
want to
weird
play
to
a
me
new
that
version.
Jack and Daxter got their native PS4 ports, but Ratchet and Clank trilogy and Sly trilogy are just left by the wayside. Like that's just so
I
weird to
guess,
me.
I guess it's
But
not that good.
yeah, you keep saying that, but no one believes
I
you.
wonder. I wonder if it's something that like just Naughty Dog like did themselves, and it's something that just Insomniac and Sucker Punch. I don't want to say that they don't care to, but you know what I mean. Like they just, I don't know, they don't see a reason to, or they don't have time right now to do that stuff themselves, right? Like I wonder if it's something that these teams specifically need to find time to actually port them over themselves, or is that something that Sony has to do themselves, or I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I'm so confused on like how the process for that actually works out, and if that's the case, why not just send it to like a another team just to remaster and get those ports over? Like I don't know. It feels like it's worth it to have that kind of legacy, especially if they actually had like a celebration just for it. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's worth it at least to have those games be playable, not through streaming where some people came in access like that. So
Yeah, man. Give me a chance to play. I want to play it.
you can on your Steam Deck.
Oh, you're right. But what version? PS2 version?
There's only PS. Oh yeah, just go with the PS2 version.
yeah, for me, Sly is the deepest PlayStation 2 mascot. Um, his trilogy, specifically Sly 2, man. I don't know if I told you guys this, but like I actually based a lot of from my like my protagonist in my book. He's an amalgamation of like several characters from books and TV shows and just things that have inspired me. But Sly is also like a big like the DNA or like Sly's blueprint or Sly's DNA is like makes up the blueprint of my main character a little bit. Um, so yeah, like this game and the story of Sly 2 specifically means a lot to me. Um, just because I really like I was rewatching the ending to Sly 2 last night, Macho, and it's like it is such an unconventional ending, but like a really like damn good like part 2 of a trilogy kind of ending where it's like yes, like Sly and the gang they ultimately like win at the end of that game. They they defeat the big bad of the entire story, but that ending is also like super depressing, man. Like Sly gets Sly gets arrested, Bentley gets fucking paralyzed, Murray ends up leaving the entire gang, right? So it's like yes, like they win at the end of the day, but like at what cost? Like they still have all like the scars are there. Like they've suffered so much in that second game. And yeah, it's like a bittersweet ending. Like they still leave that game victorious, but like they still suffered so much throughout Band of Thieves, and like I don't know, man. Like that ending always hits me whenever I watch it, because it feels so unconventional. But yeah, I just respect the second game so much because if you remember the Paris chapter, which is like the introduction chapter of Sly 2,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it is so like just Sly and the gang just doing their thing, leaving off where they left off from the first game, right? Like it definitely feels like it's them at their peak, like they're in their bag in the Paris chapter. And then like Sly 2 to me is like challenging that status quo. Like these characters have gotten so comfortable at what they're doing, they're feeling good, almost like they're getting cocky because they're just so good at what they're doing. And then the next chapter or the whole John chapter or those two chapters, it's like that comfort that they felt gets like flipped on its head, right? And it's like challenging the status quo because it throws those characters into a truly like uncomfortable position where it's like two of the three in that gang get arrested, and now it's like the weakest character has to go out and rescue them, and it specifically puts the quote unquote weakest character in an uncomfortable position because he has to challenge like his greatest fear of like literally going to this prison to break out his friends who have been arrested. And that chapter, like, everyone talks so highly about that chapter because it's so like just think about it for a second. Like, I feel like you play these games to play as Sly Cooper, right? Because you want the agility, you want the smoothness, you want the cockiness, right? All of that stuff. But for a game to take that away from you, take two of its main characters away from you and play as the quote unquote weakest character, um, I don't know. It was such a cool like gameplay moment, but at the same time, like such a cool like story, character development moment for Bentley as well, because it's like literally this character who has depended on both Sly and Murray to do all the grunt work on out on the field and stuff like that. And now it's like he can't rely on those two people anymore. Like everything falls and rests on his shoulders in this chapter to break out his friends from prison. And I don't know, man. Like that chapter hits so hard, because of that, because of Bentley. Like we're literally watching this scared and timid character like grow before our eyes, and yeah, and at the end of that chapter, what do you have? You have these characters growing even closer because of this experience, because of this like really terrible experience. Macho, they even drugged Murray in this chapter
Yeah,
when
I
he's in
remember.
prison. They drugged him, man. So, um, but yeah, I can you talk a little bit about that jailbreak chapter? Do you remember it, and like did it leave an impression on you? Just like when you were playing it for the first time, just like how wild it was to be without two of the main characters and having to control Bentley for like the majority of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on the themes of it so well, and just like the overall impact of the story and like what it does for Bentley as a character. But at the time when I played it, and from what I remember the most about it, the gameplay was just so sound, and it felt like
Yeah.
Bentley. You know, it was so characteristic, and that's what made it stand out even more. Where Bentley really had to play to his genius strengths, and he went from, the guy in the studio the entire time to now being like the outdoorsman, and now he has his own tricks to play with when it comes to creating his own tools and stuff like that. And to me, that's super cool. And I think that what they did with that whole, like the whole level design is smart, right? Because whenever you drop into a new biome in a Sly game, you can tell like a lot of it was tailored towards Sly maneuvering around. But now they had to focus
Yeah.
on what Bentley and Murray can do, and that's where the jumping trampolines were coming in. So the fact that they included stuff like that for those two characters, where they can finally get on rooftops and like hover over to a next area, which is so much fun. Like there's to a point where like I even wanted to play more as Bentley and Murray than Sly at that point, because they had so many tools they could do just to get around and sneak around and pickpocket as well. So I think
Yeah.
the evolution of like the mechanics in the game just did such a great job from the first game, that feels like it's so much more, but doesn't necessarily take away anything from the first game either. It just feels like everything's an addition to what the first game introduced.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, even like specifically talking about Bentley, I mean, his moving gets, dare I say, even better in the third game.
Sorry,
With
what was it? Say it again.
Oh, that I would say that Bentley's movement in the I would dare say that his movement gets even better in the third game.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah, because they now have that foundation, that blueprint of what he can do, and they go balls to the wall in the third game. There's so much they introduce in the third game that it really feels like it feels like it feels like they're biting more than they can chew, but it turns out they got a good mouthful in there, and they got a good handle on that entire game. They even touched on that too in the blog post, where like there's so much things happening with Sly 3 that we couldn't pull it off without the teamwork. And if it wasn't for Sly 2 really innovating on what 1 did, then we wouldn't have gotten all the great things in 3. But yeah, I mean, most of what I remember from the game, because it's been a long time since I played all of them again, but the mechanics and just the gameplay is what just really sold me on it. And just the overall, just going around the different biomes and worlds, like it really felt like you're globetrotting the entire game, and that's what made it so appealing. And every level feels so different, unique, and fun, which is one of the moments I remember. So, is I forgot where we went. Oh man, Was it India where you did the dance with Carmelita Fox?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
India
that's what I
or
remember because
India.
that dancing minigame, I'm like, oh, she's looking good, I'm looking good, we're dancing, we're like in this.
Hey,
It,
yo.
it, it was it was kind of like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith kind of moment where they were both at the dinner party and they both knew that they were spies and that they were kind of like trying to one up each other, but they had this really slick dance and they were trying to kill each other at the same time. It reminded me of that, but with Sly and Carmelita, because like it was just so cute, and it was fun at the same time. And like I love the little mini games with Sly too, that also just be borderline frustrating and challenging, or really fun. And that was one that's really fun. But the one that was borderline frustrating was against the voodoo crocodile. That was that was rough. That was a tough one, but still fun.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I remember struggling with that too, to be honest.
With a
Um,
crocodile.
yeah,
Yeah.
Miss Ruby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
three
I remember
different
her bitch ass.
layers of just going through her entire thing. I was just, Jesus Christ, lady.
Yeah. But yeah, just to return to Sly 2 again, like that character or that game's themes are just like it's funny because like even back then, like I don't know, I must have been like 8 years old when I first played it, but it's like all of this stuff just kind of goes over your head when you're playing it back then. But like now looking back on it, like the themes are so interesting. And I think even it's funny because I think Sucker Punch kind of with Ghost of Tsushima, they kind of tackle some of these themes as well. And it's like reputation. Like reputation is kind of like the biggest thing in Sly 2. It's like the connecting thread that links like everything in that game. Because like each of the characters, like even the villains, are kind of obsessed with this quest of like kind of making something for themselves, right? Or like living up to something. For Sly, it's like living up to his family name. But every villain that you meet, from Rajan to even like Neela or John Bisson, they're all sort of like embroiled in this narrative of like finding what's owed to them. And the things that differentiate Sly from the villains is like how they deal with this, like how they dealt with those feelings. And like Macho, like you talked about biting off more than what you can chew.
Hmm.
And I think, talking about the Paris chapter, again, like that was the team like in their bag for sure. But then quickly after that, during the Rajan stuff, you find out that it's like, no, like these guys, like Sly and the crew, they end up biting off way more than they can chew, and that's what ends up landing them in prison. And I think the story is about like Sly's lack of foresight, like Sly getting caught up in his own ego despite his good intentions, and his ego, his obsession with sort of wanting to live up to the Cooper name and the Cooper legacy. It ends up hurting the people around him, right? Primarily Bentley getting paralyzed. And again about Sly getting caught up in his own ego, like it goes back to this idea of their actions having consequences, and you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I just really love that there's like genuine like consequences in this game due to these characters like actions. Like
Yep.
I don't know, man. Like it was that game is just like that story is so, and the themes are so good because it's like in the first game in Thievius Raccoonus, it's like the Cooper game, like they're underdogs in that entire game. They're swinging like really big against the odds, but they come out on top at the end of the game. But in the sequel, it's like that shit is not gonna fly anymore. Like you're fighting against like a group of villains that are like a tier higher than what you faced previously. Your luck runs out in this game, and like Sly's reputation isn't enough to keep him away from harm's way and to keep his friends safe. In this game, like this game proves that there's always someone smarter, there's always someone better than you in this game. And I don't know, man. Like this game tackles like so much, and I love it so much. This entire trilogy. We didn't even talk about like Sly 3 and how it ended off with the whole amnesia thing with Sly and Carmelita. I love
Yeah.
that ending as well.
Yeah, I know that's a
Um,
really cool way. Like talk about beating your expectations of how they're gonna close off a trilogy, right? And
yeah.
it's so Sly Cooper at the same time. You're just like, you Sly Cooper, you Sly. It's one of those.
The
It's
hell?
so good.
Yeah, it's
Game is all right.
fantastic. And notice to the people watching, notice how we did not talk about Sly 4 in any of this. So
Come on, stop it, man. Come
no,
on, it's
no.
a good game. It's a good
So
game.
I was on like Google Images last night looking at just like the cutscenes, the comic book sort of stylized cutscenes that they do for the games. And someone posted like a comparison of like, hey, here's how Carmelita looks in the comic book cutscenes for Sly 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And it's like how she looks in 4 is disgusting, man.
It's a
It's
little bit
gross.
Yeah, I know. It's four is definitely the black sheep of the whole series, but I don't know. I think the gameplay is still really good in that game. Like it's like even if like this, I know because we were just talking about how great the story and characters are, but like even that, just like the gameplay and the overall aesthetic, I think really worked for that game, and it was fun, and they had some really good ideas. But yeah, a lot of the execution was definitely missed for sure, especially with those comic book cutscenes. Like to me, those are like part of the identity for Sly Cooper, and they really didn't get that right.
Yeah,
But
yeah, for sure.
but the gameplay was definitely there. They definitely expanded the gameplay and everything else. But yeah, I'm not gonna say you're wrong because you're not. I totally agree with you. I just don't think it's as much of a black sheep as it is. You know, it's like when people say that they hate Kingdom Hearts 3, it ruined the series. No, it didn't. It's fine. It's okay.
Right.
But it's one title you just don't have to replay. I think that's the best of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they say 3 is the worst. No, 2 is the worst.
For what?
Two Kingdom Hearts 2 is the worst one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. But
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2.
last time people said that they're never mind. I won't say what I'm gonna say.
Yeah?
Continue. So yeah.
You choose violence today?
Nah, not today. Not today.
Yeah.
But yeah. So when was the last time you actually played Sly Cooper 4? Was it one it just released and you're just disgusted you didn't play it again?
Yeah. No.
Oh man.
Yeah. When did it come out? What, 2013?
Around there, yeah. It was one of the biggest selling factors of it is that if you bought the PS3 version, you got the PS Vita version as well. So it's cross-buy.
Gotcha.
So that was
So,
one
like,
of the biggest factors of it too. And
Was Sly 4 just another company, or was it also Sucker Punch?
no,
No, it was another company.
Yeah, it was Sanzaru Games, which, mind you, again, they made a good game. It was still fun. It was just taking the direction of the story and everything, and the characters. It feels like they'd even talk with Sucker Punch about it,
Yeah.
which was the weird part. So, I think
Should I skip it?
that's probably. I don't think so. I think it's still a fun game, but you're just gonna have to like look past like some weird odds and ends of the story. Would you say the same thing, so, or would you say skip it?
I would skip it.
Okay.
Cause the characters, I mean, I feel like Sly, like, after sort of everyone's character development throughout the course of 3 games, Sly 4 feels like a regression in many ways. Like, I'm not gonna retread the same ground with how I've talked about Murray in that game specifically, but Murray definitely feels like a regression in terms of like the journey that he goes on from Sly 2 to Sly 3. Like, that man goes through some shit. Like, he leaves the gang in the second game, and like part of the third game is like you trying to get him back, right? And then the fourth game is just like, I don't even want to talk about like what they do with him. And then Sly as well, man. Like in the fourth game, Sly's just like, you're not the Sly Cooper that like I remember, you know. Don't get me started on Penelope. That
Yeah,
oh my
I
God
know. You
damn.
hate what they did with Penelope. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that shit's weird, man. But like you said, and the gameplay is still good. I think the premise overall is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, just some of the story stuff I really just don't like. Again, because it's like it wouldn't be that big of a deal if the other games, like how they treated their character and stories and their and themes, and how each game is like thematically connected to this idea of like reputation and family. If it wasn't so good in those games, then I probably wouldn't have a problem with Sly 4, because it would be like, oh, that's just par for the course. You know, these games writing and storytelling has never been that great. But no, because 1, 2, and 3 are great in that regard, it makes Sly 4 even more the black sheep, like Masha was saying. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Again, I don't disagree with him either on any of those points. I think it's really fair, and but yeah, if you're looking, if you finish off 3 and you're looking for another Slide adventure, then yeah, it's they go to some pretty cool locations in that game. The gameplay is expanded even more with more characters, right? So because you're playing as not just a gang anymore, you're playing as
Right.
yeah. So they do some really interesting stuff with it. But yeah, other than that, it's one of my least memorable out of all the 3 games, really. So it brings up
So
a
I
lot
should
of great
play
points.
Sly 1, 2, 3, and then play Cyberpunk.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, I think that will actually be a good break. Like if you ever want to break from Cyberpunk and just that world and the quests being daunting as they can be, boot up Sly Cooper and start playing that. You'll have a good time.
All right.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
good.
But yeah, man, I think that's gonna do it for the podcast this week. Um, yeah, we went through all the major topics. Um, just want to remind everyone to go ahead and like the podcast, share it out if you enjoyed what you heard. If you enjoyed us ragging on Sly 4, then go ahead and drop us a like. But yeah, we're gonna get started with these outros. Wall, why don't you take it away, man? What do you got planned this week? More Cyberpunk?
More Cyberpunk, boy. Gonna be spending some time with the family. My my dad took some time to be here since the hurricane's coming by. He wants to be around and make sure nothing happens, whatever. And we're gonna go out for dinner today, later for birthday dinner. They want to go and take me to dinner. Man, I'm just being taken everywhere, man. I feel like I feel like I'm being thrown around everywhere. I mean, everyone's just.
Whoa.
Hey, wait, pause. Take it easy, Macho.
Who's throwing you around? Is it is it what's your name?
Yeah, but stop. Well, Cyberpunk, man. Gonna be diving into the mind of Johnny and the construct. And probably gonna watch Avatar next week. Then, I'm really excited, man. I can't wait to see that in IMAX. That sounds like it's gonna be an experience. The music, especially the music. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I
man.
cannot wait.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot wait. What about you, Soul?
Um, More Destiny 2, for sure.
Oof.
Gonna finish off the Sandman, and then probably hop into Edgerunners. Um,
Sir.
but yeah, not too much from me. Macho, what about you?
Countdown to honeymoon. Excited for that. We got
Where you going? Where you going?
We're going to Hawaii. Going to the
Oh,
island
yeah.
of Maui. And head up a couple of hiking trails and foods and luau's and snorkeling, all that jazz. It's going to be a true vacation, which I'm really excited about. So we got to get stuff prepped for that. But in the meantime, before all that kind of comes down, I definitely want to watch Rings of Power. So I'm at least going to sneak in one or two episodes tonight before actually starting up Cyberpunk 2077. Start playing that. I know I probably shouldn't, but the gamer in me is calling. It's calling for that experience there. I need that. And yeah, I mean, I got my Steam Deck this week, so I've been messing around with it. I've been putting a lot of games on it. I got 14 on there, so that's ready for me to go to Hawaii. I also put the Sly games on there. We got the Xenosaga trilogy. We got a lot on there, and I'm really excited to actually dive into it on the plane ride, since they're going to be pretty long. So that's going to be a fun experiment for the week. And yeah, I think that's just it. That's it, really. Cyberpunk, and then Avatar on Sunday, man. Super pumped for that. I bought my ticket as soon as the pre-orders went up, so I'm really excited to go see that movie in theaters again. I didn't think I get the chance to do that, but I'm glad they're doing it now so that we can get hyped up for Avatar 2 in a couple months. So yeah, it's gonna be the weekend. It's gonna be super fun.
Nice,
Sure.
nice. So yeah, man, that is gonna do it for the DualShock and Sense crew for this week. We will catch you guys again next Saturday, same time as usual. Hopefully something more exciting happens next week. That isn't, terrible, like, like leaks or hacks or anything like that. So yeah, until then, peace out.